Hey everybody, this is Jason, Zombie Collector. Thought I'd just check in, see how everybody's doing. I'm just checking in on my kiddo. Hey, it's a little bit different. I'm gonna play some music. I didn't do that yesterday, so I thought I'd play a little music today. I kind of just want to do a little. I'm probably do some sorting. I don't know if y'all can hear the music. It's kind of just in the background. I don't really want it to be overwhelming or whatnot. But I gotta say, first, I gotta say that I'm probably not the right person to have the conversation about the Joe Ryan fan 30 passing away. I know Steve already kind of talked about it. I knew of him. His name didn't sound familiar at first. And but he popped on some of my live streams. Jonathan told me it popped on a couple of times. And the more after I looked at the name, it rung a bell. I wasn't a subscriber of his. I had heard his name mentioned by Steve frequently. Hey, what's up, Alan? So, I knew of him, but I'm not going to sit here and make it sound like I knew the guy well, because that's definitely not true. But, it kind of, I went back and looked at a few of his videos just to kind of get a feel for him. I saw the video that was done by his wife, which was very, I'm sure hard to watch and difficult for his friends. And I'm surprised that his wife was able to keep her composure as well as she did. There's literally no way I would be able to do what she did for sure. The same day or the next day or whatever, I would be a complete wreck and a mess. It kind of just makes you think about things, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. Like I said, again, Joe, he wasn't old. He seemed to be around all of our ages, and he didn't, I don't know what the outcome. I don't know. Obviously this happened today or last night or whatnot, or yesterday evening. But unless there was some kind of, which you would think at that young of age, there had to be some kind of health issues possibly that I don't know if other people were aware of or what the case may be or whatnot. But it was seeing a young guy just 2 days ago posting videos about, I think his video was a Stadium Club 2019 Stadium Club box break he did, and the results I watched of that video, just to kind of get a feel about everything. It was kind of surprising to see somebody just, literally 2 days ago doing a video about baseball cards and what he has. And and that's kind of what brings me to what my thoughts, which is really, this is a catalyst to share that, nobody knows, nobody is guaranteed tomorrow. And I know it's a tough subject, a real subject that people don't like talking about, myself included. I'm one of the last people who want to talk about things of this sort, because you just never, as you get older, I think you become more realistic to the fact that, there's a clock and it's ticking, and eventually your bell will get rung, and that'll be the end. And I think when you're young, you don't think about that, which is great. You shouldn't think about it. It's not something you need to think about. And it's not something I think about every day by any stretch of the imagination. But as you get older, you start realizing that, be grateful for the time that you have. You start, life slows down a bit for you, at least you would think so, and you start reflecting on your life and those kind of things. And everybody comes to different situations in life in different ways, and everybody's situation is different, and there's no right or wrong way to approach life for sure. Hey, what's up, Jonathan? Hey, man, I didn't want to. I didn't talk to you, man, because I didn't want you to think I was blowing you off, but I just needed some time to think about things, and that's kind of what this is about. I was watching Stranger Things on Netflix, but I kind of like when I heard about Joe Ryan Fan 30, it kind of like took me out of the mood watching a sci-fi horror TV show, even though it is something I love, and I'll get back to it, and I'm sure I'll talk about it again. But I felt like I needed to kind of think about other things for a bit and kind of get my thoughts together, and just trying to put it together. I mean, if y'all remember, if y'all watched my other video and I was talking about when I was being in the car wreck about 2 weeks now, I specifically mentioned in that situation that you just never know when your time is going to be up. I mean, I think when you're young, again, like I was mentioning before, you don't really think about it because you shouldn't think about it. It's not something that should even be in the forefront of your mind. You just want to live life and be young and have fun and do whatever that is that you do. And everybody's different in that way. But as you get older, you realize you're on borrowed time, so to speak, and that you hope to live to be an old person and things of that sort. But, nobody's promised, like I said, tomorrow. You're not guaranteed. And when you see a young guy like, Joe, I'm assuming his real name's Joe, and I could be wrong if somebody can correct me. Again, like I said, I wasn't a huge a viewer of his channel, but I do think that it's worth discussing and talking about and bringing to the forefront a little bit about it. Thank you, Jonathan. I mean, I figured like it was kind of made sense, but I mean, it kind of makes you think that what are you doing with your situation, your lot in life? How are you trying to better yourself and better the people around you? How are you taking care of yourself? And it kind of gives you pause about those kind of things. And to see Steve, reaction, it was kind of for me very, surreal maybe. To know that, how powerful the impact people have in each other's lives, even though most of us, like for instance, Jonathan and I and Alan, I've met Alan once before. We've talked on the phone multiple times. I've never hung out with Jonathan 1 second of my life, but him and I talk on almost a daily basis in some way, shape, and form, of either it's on the phone or through texting. On Fortnite or whatever. And I like the only reason I even get on that game is just to pretty much hang out with Jonathan for a couple hours. But you don't really realize sometimes the impact you have on people's lives and how you touch people in certain ways. And I don't mean that in like getting weird or anything. So please don't take it the wrong way. But I mean how you come, you go in and out of people's lives in certain ways. And I saw that Joe had like 160, 70 subscribers. So that means that he has reached at any given time that many people on this YouTube. Now I know that's not huge compared to not just I'm not the ball card community or anything, but I mean there's channels with tens of millions of subscribers and all that. Yeah, man, for sure, Alan. Anytime, dude. Just you let me know. But what Steve said, and I will, what Steve said, obviously, I'll respect, because he knows that he was a very, gentle, nice guy. And, he was a guy who seemed to be very happy-go-lucky and things of that sort. Had a very positive attitude, and I know that's important for Steve and a lot of people, for everybody, I guess. Really, if you think about it, um, it was hard, like I said, to watch that video, and in these situations, you really don't know what to say. You want to comfort your friends and be there for your friends, um, but you really don't, you don't really have much you can say other than you're sorry, and that which is what I can do and say I'm there for you, which is basically all you can be there for somebody in that situation, to hear them out, let them talk, be a supportive friend, have an open and available ear to discuss whatever what that person wants to discuss, and just to be available and be there. Because I think that's what it boils down to is friendships. And I know some, you hear people say, I'm sorry, is there anything I can do? I'm here for you. I'm praying for you. Condole. The popular thing now is to say condolences, because you don't want to offend somebody by saying you'll pray for them. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to pray for you and your family every time. If that offends you, then I can't even imagine how that would offend somebody when they're obviously going through a hard time in life. But it's whatever. But hey, what's up, Josh? But sometimes, when I went through hard times in my life, having somebody I can give them a call on the phone has been like some of the best medicine therapy, the best thing the doctor could order, the minister could order, the psychiatrist could order, is just having a listening ear, having somebody to listen to you, and and for the person not to really even have anything to say back, but just to hear what you have to say and just to let you vent, is sometimes the most therapeutic, important thing a person can do. And I'm sure I'm not telling this to, this is not like any surprising revelation that I'm sharing here. But I think it's very important to note, because it does say, what kind of friend are you? Are you a friend who listens and just available if you need to be available? Or are you a person who wants to hear your own self talk and let them know what you can do to help them, when that's not necessarily what might be what they need or want? It's very difficult sometimes to know what to say, but I think sometimes less is more in that situation. And so, I just reached out to Steven, and like I said, I don't know Joe's family, his friends, that world, I don't know, but I do know Steve, and I know how it affected him. And so I told Steve, I'm here for you. We can talk. He obviously has my number. We've talked, many times. I just sent him a care packages a couple weeks ago for him and Mr. T. And it's hard to see your friends, hurt, for sure. People you respect and enjoy their company and like, but it's also you also can be there to celebrate, I guess. And that's another thing that it's an important part of the process, is to try to celebrate, and given the circumstances, you don't really know when it's an older person or a person is sickly. It doesn't make it any easier, but you can sometimes understand that it's coming, that you can celebrate their lives. But when it's a young person, it's a lot harder. I feel like it's more difficult to understand and to wrap your mind around it. So it's trying to juggle, I guess, those two things. Yeah, and that's my understanding for sure, yeah, Josh, for sure. So I mean, I don't really want it to be this whole big uh, video of just being down or whatnot because you know that's not really the. I mean, there's other videos out there of people who really were his friend or really was a good acquaintance of his that would do it more justice. And I'm not doing anything but just saying, using what happened to Joe to share with people that you just you know you need to make sure you're living. Hey, what's up, Steve? I was kind of talking about the whole situation that what happened today and the video I watched that you gave about Joe. I was just saying that no one's promised tomorrow, no one's guaranteed the next day. Hey, what's up, Eggy? Love you too, man. And it's a topic that people don't like talking about because it doesn't really give you warm, fuzzy feelings, obviously. But I think that, it's very important to understand that for me, it's important to try to bring joy and laughter to people. You all know if you come to my channel, I'm a goofball. I'm silly. I don't take life too serious. Very little in my life do I can't find the humor in something. I've always been this way, but I think it's really served me well as I've gotten older that I just don't take life serious and I can laugh almost anything off and I can move forward, you know? Yeah, man. I agree with you, Josh. As you know, I'm just, that's kind of what I'm saying about it, man. I mean, it definitely, so when I hear things that I know that my friends are hurting or situations where it's been very difficult to get through a tough situation, you want to, be there to help and support them. So kind of just thinking about those things. I know Steve just mentioned, he didn't get a lot of, I guess, accolades in the community or whatever, and all that. And I mean that's definitely difficult, for sure. But you always find it hard to say anything. In these situations, really. My main thing is just being there for Steve. Obviously, I can tell he's taking it very hard, or he did, he took it very hard. And being there for Steve and just, letting him know I'm here. Hey, what's up? Yeah, that's good to hear that, Steve. Hey, what's up, Mark? We got Stove Sports, comedian extraordinaire. So, yeah, I don't know much about what happened. I mean, maybe somebody else. I mean, obviously, other people know him much better. Did he have health issues? Was there something to do with his health? I only watched a couple of videos, and I really couldn't put my finger on if there was any health issues. Because of being such a young guy, I mean, I'm assuming he was in his mid 40s ish. I mean, he didn't look much older than that. So if he was younger, if he was older than that, then he looked better. He looked pretty good for his age, I guess. So I don't know if he had, what was going on. But yeah, his wife's video, dude, like was, I can tell you, there's no way I could do something like that. There's no way. I don't know if I would ever be able to do that kind of thing, let alone the same day, essentially. Like, it was very, um, um, profound, I guess, or very, I don't know if that's the right word or not, but it was very brave of her to some degree, being able to get in front of everybody and speak her mind and her piece about the situation with her husband to let people know what had happened. I can't even imagine. Yeah, I mean, Mark, I'm almost essentially in the same boat with you. I mean, Jonathan brought to my attention. Yeah, way tougher. You're exactly right, Eggy. Yeah, I mean, he'd come on to some of my live streams early on when I started doing live streams, but he never really posted, if at all, to any of my videos. So I didn't really know him very well. So the only way I really know people is people who come to my channel because I've kind of become a isolationist, and I'm not really big in like tracking people down anymore. Like I found the people I like, and I like who I like. And now that I wouldn't like Joe's channel, but he never came to my channel, so I was unaware of him for the most part. Like I said, I didn't know him through Steve. Hey, what's up, Nate? Yeah, definitely very sobering way to start the day, without a doubt. Um, and so like I've kind of came to a point recently. That's awesome. I mean, obviously, I could tell Steve, you and him had a good relationship, friendship, acquaintance, kinship, whatever you want to call it, through your channel. Maybe that's how he knew of me, was through your channel, I guess, possibly. But I've got to a point over the last few months. I'm sure a lot of people have noticed that, like, I just kind of do what I do. I hang with who I hang with on here. I support who I support. You know, I stopped trying to. Now that I should never say I stopped trying because I never did. But there was a time that I was like trying to subscribe to everybody in every situation and keep tabs of everybody. And I just was like, man, that's a young man's game. That's not me. I'm not gonna do that. And so I kind of like uh, got back into my personal bubble. I recoiled from the world and just now stick with my main dudes, and I'm fine with that. And sometimes I'll, like Mark's a good example. Like usually, Mark had been around for a while, and I was just kind of everybody was like, "Oh, this guy's pretty funny," blah blah blah. And the video that people really got me to watch was Mark's, like his night was it 1969 or 68 video where he was showing his uh, binder of his cards that he collected, and there was only like 5 cards in the whole binder, but he was treating it like it was like as you all know with Mark, that it was like completely full. And I think actually Josh Impact Player told me, he's like, dude, you got to check this guy out. And I'd known about him for a while, but I just wasn't interested because like I said, I kind of stayed on my own little island, and people that I know I like and vice versa. And then I was turned on to him, and I've been a fan ever since. And now I feel like Mark and I have had like a good interaction online. We've talked a little bit off online, like through a little bit just texting, but mostly just online. And great guy. But it's definitely something that it took a lot for me to go check him out. Because I just kind of stayed in my world. I know Steve kind of does that now too a lot. Steve and I have very much similar perspectives on this whole YouTube thing, and so that's might be one of the reasons why I never really picked up on Joe's channel, because he never came around, which is fine. But I just kind of missed out on the awesomeness of Joe, apparently, and I'm sad to say that I was unable to like catch him when it mattered, for sure. That's cool to hear that about Joe, man. About him being like enjoying the simpler things. He just enjoyed the cards. He didn't worry about the value. As Steve was saying, he's just a real down to earth person. Yeah, Steve and I are very much similar to that for sure. Yeah, Mark's that channel, that video of Mark, man. I mean, that's when I became a true believer on Mark's channel, and so luckily I caught it at the inception. I got caught up with him before he took off to the stratosphere with Slabgate. But when he he took that Barry Larkin, I think, I don't know, maybe it was Barry Larkin or Ichiro. I think it was Barry Larkin, and he threw it behind him, like, just like it didn't matter. I was like, what are you doing? How dare you throw that Barry Larkin card against the wall or whatever? And then he sent me that message and goes, Barry Larkin was not hurt during the making of this video or something. I thought it was very funny. But I enjoyed his humor, and definitely for sure. All right, Steve. Take care, man. Thanks again, dude. Like I said, brother, I'm here for you. Give me a call anytime if you need anybody to talk to or just to talk, man. But yeah, dude. Mark, for sure. I think it's obviously you're being funny. You're being funny. You're trying to be funny, but I feel like you have a very unique sense about it, which is unusual, I think, in the YouTube community. Very few people can pull off what you do and how you do it. It's a very unique approach. Bob Lewis is the closest one who can do that kind of stuff, which is impressive because, I'm more of a Jim Carrey-ish humor or whatever, like just kind of out there and ridiculous and just saying ridiculous stuff, the Sam Kinison, if you will. So I'm a lot more in your face, where you're more, you and more cerebral, and you really think things through and like figure out a cool approach to come at something, which it's good because it's a higher level of comedy. You're kind of like the Seinfeld of comedy, Seinfeld of YouTube, I mean. And I'm more like Kramer. So I'm looking for the quick, fast, easy jokes, where you're looking for the cerebral jokes, the ones that just marinate for a little bit in the old upper lobe areas, and then it hits you. I mean, that Slabgate video, dude. I mean, like, seriously, that's going down in the echelons of YouTube, Facebook, or YouTube Hall of Fame videos, honorable mentions, whatever you want to call it. That's going to be like that clip of the year. That was hilarious. Like the scene where the girls are crying or something. Oh my gosh. And I can't remember the line, but it was just like perfect. It was just like the scene where the girls are crying, and then like they say something like, at least oh man, I can't remember. Like that just caught me off guard. Cracked me up, Wooly. Oh my gosh, that just makes me laugh. Seriously. I mean, I'm pretty sure that was from the Inglourious Bastards. I'm pretty sure I remember those scenes. But that was, oh my gosh. Just cracks me up. Just thinking about it is making me laugh. For sure. Sorry, somebody just texted me. I want to make sure I respond. If I can spell, that'd be great. Hey, what's up, dude? What's up, man? Sorry, I'm just checking. I got an email or text. Hey, what's up, Canadian Cards? Sorry, I just got a text message and it kind of threw me off. I never. So yeah, man, I'm glad. Hey, man, I don't know if I've ever been to your channel, Canadian Cards. I'm gonna go check you out, man. Thanks for coming over here and hanging out with me tonight, man. We're just talking about. Oh my gosh, I swear some people. Oh my gosh. Oh, I know. I understand. I understand, Nate. We all know that. We all know that Canadian Cards isn't funny. We know that Mark is though. No, all kidding aside, man. I mean, so somebody's texting me, and I have a new phone, and so I don't have everybody in my phone yet. So I got to find out who this is. So I put this as a new phone, and it auto corrected to a Jew phone. So that was not any kind of after the Slapgate video. We gotta be careful now. I'll definitely be checking out Canadian Cards, dude, for sure. No, it's not cheaper. Yeah, that was weird. Like I don't know why it auto corrected to. I mean, new is a word and a very common word to use. I don't know why it defaulted to Jew. That was weird. I was like, what? So yeah. Somebody they keep blowing up my phone, but I'm trying to see who it is. Oh, it's Mark. You wild man. You wild man, you. Looking very handsome as usual. Yeah. There's been I don't know, I mean, there should be like a ongoing like thread or something where people like on Facebook or whatever, where your autocorrect says the most ridiculous things to people. It's mind boggling. I don't know how many times I've sent things that like Luca's baseball coach or basketball coach or his like school programs, and I'll voice to text or even physically text, and I don't look at it. I just think, okay, that's it, and I send it, and it says, I mean, it says all kinds of things, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like what in the world? And then the worst thing is my Luca's mom, who's is from Japan, will like troll me. And she's like, are you even an American? Do you even speak English? Like, what is this even supposed to say? I don't even understand what you're trying to tell me in this text message. Speak English. And then I go back and look at the text and I was like, oh my gosh, like there's no sense to what I'm saying. It's just like a bunch of like gibberish. I'm like, that poor woman's probably like, what is wrong with you? Like, no wonder we're not together anymore. So, I mean, it's just like, I'm just like, I'm so sorry. My bad. I'm a moron. I should have checked this before I sent anything. Hey, what's up, Caesar? My hermano. Yeah, when I used to go to public baths in Japan, which is a thing, it was always really weird because I'm like the only white guy with like dozens of Japanese guys, and everybody's staring at you, like literally staring at you. Let's just say they're not staring at your face. So it's always an awkward time because you're trying to, like, obviously you're completely naked in these public baths and you're trying to get yourself ready before you go into the body of water, and everybody's like, so definitely. Yeah, Mark, public baths. Also in South Korea, I did. Oh yeah, public baths here would be a totally different thing. Like I would never, ever, ever, never go to any kind of public bath in America, but in Asia it's way more common. Just because just because you're not Japanese, it's an automatic. It's just weird, and so you just have to sit there and I don't even want to use that word. You just have to. I don't even want to that word. Like you just have to just kind of just grin and bear it, I guess, even though that's not the really right wording either. It's almost like awkward now saying that as well. But for a lack of saying other things, he's like, I can't win in that situation. We're a fanny pack. Yeah. I mean, like, there's a lot of funny stories about me in public baths in Japan or in South Korea, which I'm sure no one wants to hear. But it's very interesting just because how different their cultures are when it comes to that. But yeah, anyways, it was for sure. Now I know why he was talking about that because of Pepino Man saying about Japan. I was like, how did I even get on that topic? Now I go back and look at my chat and that makes sense. I'm like, where did that come from? But now I know, and knowing it's half the battle. G.I. Joe. Real America. Oh, there's a Giants card. Oh, Pepino, man, you silly goose. You silly goose. There's a Matt Williams. Oh, I just dropped Matt Williams. He does not appreciate me dropping him. Matt Williams is like, what are you doing dropping me, man? Don't you dare drop me. There's a Dodger. Who's that? Ramon Martinez. Yeah, I have one of the biggest prisons in Indiana is right next to my house. So whenever there's any kind of drama going on at that jail, it's a supermax prison. You always hear about it on the news because people freak out because of the kind of criminals that are there. That's awesome to hear about, Joe. I didn't know that he was also a junk wax collector. That's cool. No, I'm not. I did a Jason Handy video that I talk about the National that I'm gonna probably release tomorrow and talk about it, but I'll go ahead and give you all a preview. Not that anybody truly cares, but I'm not gonna make it to the National this year. Like, it just doesn't make financial sense for me to go, and trying to be a responsible adult sucks. But that's what I'm gonna have to do. But when I realize the whole issue with my vehicle and 3,000 American dollars that I don't have, or pesos for that matter, or won or yen or whatever you want to call it, I just realize I just need to bite the bullet and just not go. You hitchhiking, dude? You better be careful about hitchhiking. Better be careful. Take it easy on the roads. On the road again. Well, there's an Oakland A's card. Who's this? There's another athletics guy. There's a Lee Smith. Who knew? Oh, there's the El Presidente. Is this a guy? Is this a guy a giant or is an Oriole? Oh, whoa! Almost put that in the wrong stack. Oh, Big D, faux life. What up, Holmes? Oh, Mark's gonna be working the airport. Everybody, be careful. He's an air traffic controller, so be careful. He might have you. He might have your house land or your plane land somewhere you don't want it to land. That'd be scary. He'll have it land at Jeffrey Dahmer's house there in good old Milwaukee. Milwaukee's best. Milwaukee's best. Oh, he has something for Nate. He's going to bring it with him. He is going to bring something for Nate. He's the janitor at the airport diner. Okay. I'm sure that's news to Mark. For promotion. That was awesome, right? See, that's awesome. Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. Ramon Martinez, Ramon. Enchanté. Oh, that's French. Never mind. I'm so uncultured. Daryl Strawberry in a Yankees uniform. What the what? What the what? There's another Dodger. Chan Ho Park. George Williams with the Athletics. Brian Jordan as a Cardinal. Do what? Dwight Gooden as a Yankee. Larry Walker with the Rockies. Shocker. Ellis Brooks with the Rockies. Do what? Marvin Bernard with the Giants. Sweet. All right, guys. There's another Giants card. The Athletics, the Oakland Athletics. And then we'll go ahead and hop off of here, guys. I appreciate everybody hanging out with me. I got quite a few people in here, but I kind of just, it's already 11 o'clock East Coast time, so I then want to go ahead and I'm going to head off. I'm sure somebody else can do a live stream and take all 13 of you guys or whatever with you. But I appreciate everybody hanging out, man. Thanks again. And remember, don't be a douchebag.